So let's come to a comfortable seat just so you can see. I have a couple of blankets, I have my blocks, and my most favorite prop of all, my chair. For those of you who know that, my hip has been a thing for so long now, I finally went and got an X-ray because I'm thinking, yeah, it's getting chronically painful and it hurts. So what we saw in the X-ray is like there's basically no joint. It's just all of this weird stuff in there, all. So I'm excited to say that I am going to get my hip replaced. Woohoo! And it did take me a long, long time to get excited about that because when the doctor asked me, how long has this been going on? I thought, I said 5 years, but I know it's been 10. you know, so that'll be good.
Good choice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, finally. So let's come to seated. Don't be cold. It's cold at my house. It's snowing and it's cold. So if you need, this, we'll sit for a few moments. So you may want to have a blanket over your legs or your shoulders or whatever. I need to do something here. So we're going to go into the freshness of breathing to begin. Put a blanket on. And you can take your hands any way you like. I like to have my arms just a little bit wide from my side chest. So rather than down here, which is fine, just a little bit of space, just a little space, so that the sensing and feeling within your thoracic region is very full all the way around the front, the sides, and the back, a big oval, right? And the sense of the diaphragm, the big muscle there, of course, is the same all the way through, wide in the back, wide on the sides. And the remembering how the thoracic diaphragm is attaching along the spine in the back. And literally, your diaphragm back there is like this cup into the spine. So it would come up here. This is the spine down here. And then it comes up and around. Right? So it's something like that in there. So looking at that as you take your first moments here to feel, take a nice long fluid exhalation to a pause. And then imagine, notice, and feel that you slide your breath up the back abdominal wall into the width of the back lung in the bottom, the mid in the center, and the top is both front and back, the big top cone of breathing. Follow me. Take an inhale to be ready. And exhale, nice, soft, long breath all the way out. You'll feel a little vacuumy sensation inside the body. And then from there, like you're sipping it from way down in the pelvic floor, draw it up the back abdominal wall, widening in the low, mid, and the top lungs. And exhale, release it out. That's a round. One breath at a time. We'll do it again. Take a full inhale to be ready. Exhale the breath all the way out, pelvic floor toned at the bottom. And as you're inhaling, these diaphragms condensing toward one another, breath into the back wall, up the back lungs, up the mid, up, and release it out. Exhale, soft. Breathe normally, let it be however it is. Good. Couple more. Now this time we're going to go all the way to an exhale, of course, and then all the way to an inhale, bringing the breath all the way up and retaining the breath at the top with just a little bit of a chin down Jalandhara Bandha. Not to get hard there, but just to arc your chin towards your chest as you retain the breath. Maybe we'll do a count of 5 retention. And then we'll take another long, slow release of breath and relax, breathe normally. 1 breath is around. All right? So breathing easy. Take a full inhale to be ready. Go down there at the pelvic floor. Make sure you got a sense of tone down there. Exhale, full breath out. Yielding, relaxing phase of everything, and then big breath in from the bottom, through the back wall, into, all the way to the top, and retain the breath. Jalandhara Bandha, little bit of Mula Bandha, toning at the base, and 5, soften it, and release the breath. Relax, breathe normally. And we'll do it again, twice more. Take a full inhale to be ready. And exhale, breath all the way out. From the pelvic floor, lifting at the base. Inhale, big breath in all the way up. Retain the breath. Jalandhara. 3, 4, 5. And soften. Exhale, breath comes out. Breathe normally. And feel. The point of pranayama is that it comes right along with, I'm trying to think what's first. It comes right along with pranayama. So pranayama, pratyahara. Pratyahara is inner feeling, and pranayama is getting in there with the prana and learning to shift and change it to make it to your advantage. Let's do 1 more of these. So take a full inhale to be ready. Exhale the breath. And from the base, up the back abdomen, into the lungs. Boom, 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 boom. Top and retain. These 2 diaphragms pulsing toward one another on the breath retention. And release. And relax. Breathe normally. Judy, I love that you're using your hands now in these things. Is it, I'm guessing that what it means is that it's pretty natural for you to do it and that you're starting to feel, and that's why I use my hands, guys. So like this kind of thing really, it lets me know that this whole body's breathing, right? Yeah. Let's do a simple twist. So wherever it is you're seated, however you're seated, we'll spin, and we're going to spin right around the central channel here. So that's from the pelvic floor, very central body, not in your spine, but actually in front of it, all the way up through center of the thoracic diaphragm, center of the heart, center of the throat, all the way up base of the brain. So, you ready? Here we go. Take a full inhale. And as you're exhaling, spin right around that central channel. So it's not going to take you as far as a gigantic twist. It's just going to take you just a little ways, right? And then bring your hands down, touch anything you got, your thighs, your floor. Yield and push into the ground with your arms in a pulsing manner as you inhale. And exhale, spin around a little bit further. You use that back arm especially to propel the spinning here. And let your head go with you. So you may find that your head will go just a little farther around your neck and the center of your skull, just a little farther than you think. 3 breaths here from now, inhaling, full breath, and exhaling. Right? Nice and easy. Full inhale. Exhale. Now this time you'll inhale, and with your exhale, you just spin right around. Let the core, the hub of the wheel, initiate the spin, and the outer wheel will come around with it. Outer wheels. All right, here we go. Inhale, core. Exhale, spinning core. Just go a little bit at first because it just doesn't go that far, right? And then you put your hand down, and this hand down here is going to help me spin this back tube. 3 tubes in here. This is the lung and the organs under it. As you're exhaling, a little pressure through there, and you spin again. So by using these 3 channels in the chest here, the lung on the one side, the heart, lung on the other side, we find ways to differentiate the movement through the tissues. It's not just your spine is spinning, but your lungs, the movement between the organs and the wrappings of the organs are just getting a little bit of a nice touch, an inner touch. All right? And as you're ready, you're inhaling right here, and then follow the sensing and feeling. Go in there. What's moving? As you exhale and come back around to front. Sitting easy. We're going to reach up. With an inhale, big reach all the way out through your arms, interlacing fingers at the top, and exhale, excuse me, slide arms upward. And as you firm your arms right in toward the side pillars of you, right in, not into the collarbones, don't jam them upward. Let the arm bones snug into the shoulder blades, and then the whole thing pulsing into the top lobe of your lungs. So you get a little touch in there. It's an inner touch. Touch into the wrappings of your lungs with the pulsing of the movement of your upper arms. I think you can see me do it. I'm softening back, and I'm squeezing, and I'm softening back, and I'm just looking for, what do I feel? All right, now part your hands up there. We're going to take the arms down halfway, okay? So with an inhale, stay firm in there, and as you're exhaling, just hugging the tops of your arm bones, in toward the scapula, not your collarbone. So they're a little low, you know? And then you're about halfway. And then if you like, retract your arms in and then exhale and turn the palms down to reach just a little bit. Now look over to the sides and see how far open are your arms. So usually very often we'll have them a bit forward, but I'm going to ask you to slide your shoulders back in your body now, your upper arms, slide them back, and as you slide back, look at your arms and let the arms come straight out of where you have managed to place your shoulders. You okay? Inhale, palms up, and exhale. So I'm stabilizing into the shoulder joint with my upper arms, and I'm making very sure I'm not stabilizing into the collarbones above the joint. And it's a pulsing, you can see. It's not one breath, one movement. It's a pulsing. Right? And hands on thighs. Turn your palms up so you can really rest your arms. Let your arms dangle now. A little bit of a dangling from the collarbones and then affirming in toward the shoulder blades. Careful not to push chest forward. Take your hand onto this manubrium. It's the bone right at the top of your sternum. Take your fingers on the manubrium. If you don't know how to do this and it's complicated, don't worry. Just do the best you can. Push into the manubrium with your two fingers. Just go in a little bit and upward, like you would push a silver dollar into the body, but not straight in and up. Your hands are stuck there on the manubrium, right? Stuck on the manubrium. Take this hand behind you and touch. You know where that big vertebra is back there? The one that sticks out. You know it. Don't worry about it. Just touch the one that sticks out and gently lift the manubrium upward and allow this bone in the back to just slide downward ever so slightly. So we could call this a lift in the chest, right? But it's not a push. You're not pushing anything anywhere. You're sliding up the front and you're sliding down the back. That's all. Right? And then take your hands out and go all the way to the flat bone here. So go out your collarbones, everybody. Go out your collarbones. Keep going. And you're going to get, where it hooks there. You feel where it hooks in? All right. And then go up above that. You feel the flat part? Yes. You feel where it's flat? Okay. So you have your fingers on the flat. Don't push them down. Just let the weight of your arms drop them down slightly. Interesting. All right, now let your arms release. Relax, breathe normally, even and steady breathing, just as you are. For a few breaths, count the lengths of your inhales and your exhales. So whatever length you like, but make it even. So I'm going to use 5 inside myself. 5 will give you time to cultivate more and more this movement of the breath up through the body, from the pelvic floor, actually all the way, but let's just take it up into the lungs. So we have these particular diaphragmatic structures here in the belly and the lungs, and they are completely unified in the movement of the breath. So that's what we're looking for. It's going to be in your brain too, but we'll do that, like, I don't know, next year maybe. But you can look at it now. You can feel, some of you have been doing this a long time with me, so you can feel, yeah, it doesn't really stop here at all. The sensing and the feeling is right in through the center of the brain. I'm saying this because I do think you can feel it. Diaphragm, big pelvic diaphragm, back abdominal wall, mesentery, thoracic diaphragm, and then thoracic diaphragm, heart and lungs, all the way up through the neck. And then the fascial wrappings through the neck, all a continuous diaphragmatic structure, breathing. The whole thing. I'm just going to give you a moment with this because you can do this. We can do this together. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's come around to hands and knees and then into downward dog. So we're using the same thing here of the lungs. The strength and the continuity of lung and upper arm. All right? So energetically, it's the continuity of the prana, where we're just talking about differentiating the bones and the muscles. And then we were in those, the core here. And right now we're going back to the way we've used the lungs so often, which is as that pranic, deep, dark flow connection, upper arm and into the lung. So hands under you and toes turned under. Hands a little bit forward, of course, and then just rock forward and back, finding a density of your touch into the earth as you rock forward and back. So not a gliding so much as if you're, a furniture glider or something, but an alive, deep, dark push into the earth. And again, will inform the inner touch, your body, your touch. And then once you're ready, take an inhale to give yourself the strength. Bring your knees off the floor. And then as you're exhaling, push diagonally down and away into the earth, sliding your body upward as you once again firm the upper arms in toward the shoulder joints, the scapula, and in toward the lungs. And they're unified in their breath, deep, full, pranic breath. The earth, water, fire of the organs and the marrow. The earth, water, fire is very much an ujjayi breath where you hear the sound just a bit like a low, deep wind internally, moist wind. Yeah. You can count the breath. Now, if you need to come down and rest, of course, do it. And have your complete 5 full deep breaths up here. So I'm on about 3. And that's 4 for me. And my awareness is very much in the support I'm gaining through my arms from the continuity of that deep darkness of the prana in this case. And let's come back onto hands and knees. Take it slow, feel what you're doing as you do it. Point the toes away and bring yourself into any version of the child's posture that you like. Let's do one more downward facing dog. So slide your arms out there. Now, if you have wrist issues or something, you can make any kinds of modifications you need to here, including going on your forearms. I'm just going to show you here from the usual downward facing dog. I'm already firm. I'm already deep in the dark of the lung and the lava flow in my bones. Inhale, you slide forward. And with an exhale, deep, deep, deep into the earth, connectivity and levity in the coccyx. Keep breathing. 1 and 2. 3. 4. You hear the sound of the ujjayi in this case. Just a soft, deep inner sound. And down you come. You can rest in a child's posture, or if you prefer, just sit into virasana here. Let your arms rest either way. As you rest, and don't do, but as you rest, see what the inner touch is between your lungs and your upper arms here specifically. That dark connectivity. Rich humanity flowing in the organs, and in the marrow. Soft, strong support in the earth. Good. I want to come down now onto your back, just to get a little bit more of the levity of movement in your lungs, right? So we've got this deep, dark, fluid supportive, which feels to be extremely important, especially this time of year, right? It's hot, it's warming, it's strong. You don't have to do much with this organ marrow thing. It does itself. It's in there. You may feel like you're working, that's okay. So I'm going to take 2 blankets and fold one this way. So that will be for my chest. And then I'm going to fold the next one a little bit higher. So I'm going to make it into a 3-fold. And then my head will be just a little bit higher than my chest. Kind of. Here, I'll make it a little high. There we go. Now I've got it a little bit higher. And once you're ready, you're going to get in there and slide your arm. You can come onto one of your sides. Come onto your right side. Slide your arm into the place between. And if you need a little more support, by the way, you could just take a block under your head. You may have to move it yourself in a moment, but it'll give you, so that your neck isn't, if that's uncomfortable to drop, it's not bad, but if it's uncomfortable, you can certainly place a block under it. And then once you're on this side, allow the weight of your body to simply drop down. We're actually going to reach this top arm up and overhead in this case, okay? Up and overhead. with your fingers on the floor up there. If that is not comfortable, simply don't do it. Keep your arm down, right? Yes? Good. So you get in there, allow your eyes to close, allow your breath, the heaviness of your breath, to go way down and into the earth. So as you're exhaling, you're becoming heavy. As you're inhaling, you're beginning to feel some levity creep in there. And then the exhale is again heavy. How about your head? Can your brain be heavy in there with your other organs? I'm just going to take some peeks now at you all. Lovely. Lovely. Now, with the arm overhead, you have an opportunity to feel the continuity from lung to marrow in a restful way here, in that dark heaviness. Now you have an option. We're going to roll on the underside lung. And if it's good for you, we haven't done it this way before. We've always done it with the arm along the chest. And you can do that. Or if the working with your arm up overhead is comfortable, you can now begin to roll around the heaviness of the underside channel of lung. So it's your right side, maybe, rolling around the right side, and also attending simultaneously to the space, the extra space you can get in the top lung from this shape. And continue to roll. Let your legs move. So you're not going to come into a full deep twist with your knees down right now, but you are going to let your knees lift up off of the floor as you roll into something of a traditional spinal twist here. We call it spinal, but we're in the organs. And as you come around to your left, you can, if it's comfortable, release the left arm out onto the floor. And maybe bring your right hand to the solar plexus. So right there at the bottom of where your diaphragm is, just the bottom of your ribs. And from the touch of your hand on the solar plexus, allow your awareness to drop way, way, way into the back portion of the thoracic diaphragm. As you're inhaling, you feel that diaphragm doming downward, or widening rather. And as you're exhaling, maybe you get a little more spin right through the diaphragm region itself. Sensation right under your hand in the solar plexus, which we know is one of those very tender sense of self regions in the body. So how about you touch it like you love it? And then how about you inquire into actually loving it? A touch on your skin, through the muscle and the sliding of the fascia, deep through the space of the organs that you come through there, and into the back abdominal wall at the top here, and spin deeper. All right, now whichever arm position you've come to here, bend your elbow, the left arm, and touch your left shoulder with your hand. Lift your elbow to come rolling back over onto the same side, onto your right side. And then get there and just let it go. The tissues that have been, the expanding tissues, the top portion, relax and they regroup. They come back into their more restful posture. Oh, yeah. And then let's go to the other side. So you can just roll on over if you're, or scoot, depending upon how long your blanket setup is. And then get in there again. Arm extends, head, however you want it. A block is fine. And feel now the underside, your left side, is condensing. Oh, it's got weight, tremendous weight, tremendous weight. My top body resting onto it and into it, allowing the sensing and the feeling of even my top lung to go right through that condensing lung on the bottom and feeling the bones, feeling the blanket and the firm of the earth. And the arm up or not, your choice. Feeling the levity in the top, the relative density underneath, and beginning to slowly roll. The dense side supporting as the lighter side rolls any way it likes. Any way it likes. You could be right around that mid-channel of the heart, or you could be in either of the other channels, the lung channels, the underside or the top, whichever you want. Play with it. Find your comfort here. Moving, breathing. Bring your legs up as much as you need to. Don't make it uncomfortable. This wants to be nice, you know? You might have your legs all the way up or nearly all the way up. Make it nice. And then again, let's touch here with the left hand to the diaphragm. Just under the bones of the sternum, right between those two mounds of cartilage. Touch through the muscle, the skin, the muscle. Oh, there's organ in there. Go all the way through the organ, sliding down to the back of your thoracic diaphragm and softening, allowing that portion of the thoracic diaphragm to literally initiate the incoming breath. Those fibers with their stem all the way to the tail, those fibers pulse, expand, condense, weave around in there. The levity of, in this case, the right side, perhaps the stretching of the muscles, all of that, of course, through the arm. Couple more breaths. Good. And then slowly bending the right arm. Don't strain your shoulder on any of this. Touch your fingers to your shoulder and then lift the elbow and let that initiate. You're rolling all the way back and onto your left side now to once again rest over it. And then as you're ready, you'll come up, so you can roll to either side to come up. Take your arms under you. and lift up. Seated. Now this time, instead of a downward dog, we're going to bring these supports and the length and all of it into dolphin, okay? So watch me. By the way, I didn't warm up my hamstrings either, so no worries if you don't come into the furthest version of any of these postures. What we're looking at right now is the integration and the connections of the movement, of course. So from here, taking this arrangement of your hands, not your watch, this arrangement of your hands, so you can see what I've done. I've taken the small finger and I've tucked it under. Why? So I have a flat space there. Flat from here to here. Not a bump. See my small finger bump? Now it's not there anymore. I'm holding an egg inside my palms. My wrists are not flexed. It's not this. Or this. It's not this. I'm not pushing them together. It's this. You with me? Okay. Let's do it together. Actually, you can watch or do it with me if you've had enough of my telling you what to do for your life already, then you can just do it with me. Or you can watch. So I'm going to place them down. First one, you can watch. I'm going to place them down and watch this. So my arms go here, but that's not going to satisfy me. I want my outer wrist to get on the ground too. So I roll my hands like that, and then I lay my wrist down as if they're flexible, flexible, flexible. Drop weight over it, yield into the earth. Inhale, my knees are off the ground. And then exhaling, push diagonally down and away through the forearms into the earth, like scooping into soft sand. And breathe. Dolphin. Yes? Yes. Okay, let's do it together. Good. So setting up by checking out your hands and your arms, right? And then your elbows, you're just going to err to the side of your elbows being slightly narrower than your shoulders. Absolutely not. You see slightly wider? Mm-mm. Slightly narrower, okay? And then wrap and extend the outer wrist. Inhale. As you're exhaling, lay the whole blade of your forearms into the earth. Push down through them, turn your toes under, lift your knees off the floor. Check your connection for strength here by just bringing your knees off the floor. All right? Now, yield and push deeply diagonally down and away. Go to the coccyx and let the coccyx be super, super, super light. Like it's just going to draw you, beautiful David, that's it. Draw you heavenward through the coccyx. Yes, Iqbal, awesome. Everybody, Heather, Jacqueline, everybody, you really got this levity in the tail. I can't say everyone's name. You all look amazing right now. So stay here and tell me, if you take your awareness more to this dark, deep flow, lung and marrow, does it give you any more sensation of connection and strength? 2 more breaths, right? Yes, thank you. Yes. And come on down and rest. Child's posture or virasana or vajrasana, seated, whatever you like. Resting a moment. Good. One more, just for good measure. Go on out there. It's your journey. You're going to bring yourself into this nice and smooth. 5 long, deep, soft breaths when you're up there, and then down into your resting posture. You may begin anytime you like. Good. All right, now watch. Don't worry, I'm going to let you stop with this arm thing pretty soon. Okay. Or do you like it? Like it, right? It's really good. Okay. So, watch. This one is the all-time favorite posture of somebody's. I don't know whose. And it's this. It's a regular forearm plank, right? So we'll be here. I'm just showing you now. We'll be here. I'll talk you through some of the stuff. And then from here, you're just going to melt your knees down, open your forearms, push down into the earth, and come into a little bit of a sphinx situation. And then from there, we'll rest down. Okay? So take your legs back far enough that you can get into a forearm plank. Remember, you can keep your knees on the ground in a forearm plank if you need to, or you can take your knees down and then bring them back up whenever. Now, in this forearm plank, I've been telling you for so many years not to drop your hips low. And this is true. However, once you learn not to drop your hips too low because you're tucking your tail, now that you know you're keeping your coccyx free, take your hips lower. Take your hips low and roll that top armpit chest region wide open and continue to push diagonally down and away. These look good. Diagonally down and away into the earth with your forearms. Take the forearm push all the way back to your hips. So forearms will move your hips back towards your feet. Do that. Yeah, Sarah, exactly. And then push from your feet through to your head, and you'll slide forward. That's the height, Catherine. Good. Iqbal, a tiny bit more freedom. Lift the coccyx. Tiny bit more coccyx. That's it. And When you're ready, you can release your arms so they're more or less parallel with one another, more or less to your comfort, and then draw your torso through long to bring it into a sphinx. The same open support there in the top chest, firmed in. Now, when you come down onto your belly to rest, in a moment, not yet, but when you do, you're going to pull your torso long again. So yes, you're tractioning the vertebral column and rest your head to the side. Nice. Melt. Melt. Good. Now take your forehead to the floor and bring your arms like a fallen cactus posture. You're still on your belly, hands like a fallen cactus out next to you a little bit. Forearms are going to be on the ground. And you're going to use your forearms to support. Listen to me. We're going into the mesentery region and the center of the navel chakra stuff. And you're just going to come up into arms up slightly, head up slightly, legs up slightly, into a shalabhasana here, right? When you're ready, the mesentery, beautiful, that's it, Erica, lifts up, 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 and you just come up off the floor just a little bit. Up off the floor, back bend from yielding the back belly into you. And as you're exhaling, take it down. Now remember how we breathe the breath down the back abdominal wall with inhale. Remember that? Well, that's also, the inhale is also the breath to come into this. So simultaneously, as you yield the belly in, you notice that, oh yeah, that's the breath going down the back abdominal wall. It can be the same thing. So when you're ready, inhale, breath into the back abdominal wall, up you come. So belly is ever so slightly involuting into the body as the central support of the posture. Do it a couple times. Play with it on your own. And then when you're ready, come up and stay in the posture if you like for 5 breaths, or come down and rest. Your choice. Now, those of you who are very strong in this, I would like you to also lift your arms now. But let's not don't extend the arms out forward. I see that's happening. I'm not sure. Someone does that. I don't like that. I'll tell you why I don't like it. It's too much weight on your back. I want you to be in the deep belly right now. So bring your elbows back by your body just a little, and then you come up from there. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. Nice. And rest. Beautiful. Nice, easy rest. And you can rock your pelvis down here. You can rock your deep belly, playing with the weight of your central body into the mesentery, into the Manipura chakra area. All of that stuff. The squishy of the digestive tract and the fire of the nervous system. It's all in there living together. Okay, take your arms under you and push yourself back. Now, your choice. You can go into child's posture, which is probably what most of you will do, and you have the option of going right into a downward dog from here. Either one will unwind the spine in a nice way so your tail can go way up, or just elongate, allowing your belly to rest on your thighs in the child's posture. They're both great. Now, if you are in downward facing dog, bend your knees and just jiggle your hips a little bit to differentiate what is coccyx up there. It's the back of the pelvic floor, and get your breath underneath the coccyx as if you could roll it up, roll it heavenward. That's it. And then draw your legs back. Draw your legs back. As it does, it moves your pelvic bones back. Descend down through your heels if you like. 2 more breaths. 1. And 2. And down you come. All right. Excuse me. We're going to come up to standing. Christy, what is that fancy thing your phone is doing? I don't mind it. I thought maybe you were just giving me a view of everything. Like,
no, it's this thing that the iPad does where the camera moves.
Oh, I see. It's kind of nice, but I lose you.
Nice?
I do lose you.
Distracting? Is it distracting?
No, it's fine. I kind of like it. I've just never seen it before.
It's super cool. It's a brand new iPad, thanks to
very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, well, I don't even know how to shut it off, Patty. So
okay, that's good. It's fine. Okay, so we're coming up to standing, and if you could grab a strap, would be great. And take your strap so that you can hold it about shoulder, slightly narrower than your shoulders. So we'll go like this and like this so that I can hold it like that. So there's the same thing here of keeping the connectivity and it's not a straight line, but it's a bunch of spirals that go right through, no hinging in the wrist, just that, right? We'll bring it into an Utkatasana here. So firstly, just taking the strap and drawing it long in front of you. And do this in a hip distance stance for now, so that your shoulders, your shoulder joints, your hip joints, your knees, your ankles, they're all pretty much in the same plane. And then you're going to put your arms and hands in the same 2 planes. Your wrists, right through the centers of your wrists, right? Pull on the strap. And then as you're stabilizing the strap out here, simultaneously stabilize the muscles of the top shoulder region. You feel you're activating them, right? Now, from there, begin to bring your arms up to about shoulder height, no further, and feel what's going on as you do it. Things change. You get them up to shoulder height. And from here, same thing, hip feet right under, slightly wider than together, right under your hips. Begin to bend your knees. Keep your arms straight forward. Bend your knees and thread the buttock bones down. So don't just bend your knees. Allow the buttock bones to have their heft. They go down. Your knees have to bend because they're so heavy. As you get down a little bit, the pelvic floor opens wide. Pulse into the body from the pelvic floor right up through your core with an inhale. Take your arms oh, maybe 3/4 of the way up and apply the same pressure here. Find the coccyx way down at the bottom. The pelvic floor is still lifting basically, and then go lower. Thread the buttock bones down lower, the coccyx free, arms come up higher, coccyx free, buttock bones low, bending the knees as much as you want, keep the feet wide, Utkatasana. If by any chance your arms and your chest get way lifted, it's fair game to look up past your hands. Breathing. Where do you breathe? Back abdominal wall. Breath called for by the coccyx and the pelvic floor. Couple of breaths. Don't crank your head up there if it's not comfortable. All right, now push into the earth through both legs. Come up just the reverse of how you went down. Support the whole way along as you go. More than one breath, obviously. Pulling on that strap. And let the strap go for a moment. Coming into but keep it straight. Uttanasana. So here's where you might want to use a chair or a couple of blocks. It's a standing forward bend. That's all it is. All right. So let's come into it together. I'll use the floor. Some couple of blocks, if feels better to you, is appropriate. And let's also have the feet just about hip distance here. Take your weight down on these pelvic bones and let them descend. And in the descending of the two halves, see if you can feel the differentiation there at the center, the space of the center, rather than the heft of the bones here. Two things, right? Then inhale, slide up through central core, and peek upward. Still waiting there on the pelvic bones. With an exhale, pelvic bones stay heavy, so don't fling. Don't fling at all. Keep the heft of the ischial tuberosities going down as you come out. Now, this is where some of you are going to want to be on the chair. Exhale, keep going a little bit lower. Bending knees is fine. Get your fingers to whatever you've chosen as support. It could even be your legs. And pour the central channel down. Pour it down. Keep breathing. Good. And we'll come up. So just to be sure that you're fine, take your hands to your thighs, bending your knees, and use your arms supporting down through the legs to inhale and come all the way up. So you have your feet a little bit wide. Now, heel toe them together so that you've got the inner foot touching, basically, at least the big toe ball or big toe touching. And feel how this is just a little more narrow, right? It's not so stable anymore as when you have the feet open wide. That's fine. It gives you the little tiny muscles of your spine specifically need to work to hold you. All right, so we're going to take Utkatasana again. We're going to do it this time with the knees and the feet together. Same thing here. All right, take your hands into your hip creases here, knowing that as you start to come to Utkatasana, watch, they don't go like this. They don't go like this. See my hips going back? They do go like this. You see, because the ischial tuberosities are going down and the hip creases are deepening at the same time. Not this, but this. Yeah? Good. All right, so here we go. Standing. Okay, and firm the strap. As you're inhaling, see if you can do them both at the same time. The strap begins to rise as the ischial tuberosities deepen down, making your knees bend, drawing in and up through the inner legs from the foot arches, ankles, inner calves, knees, inner thighs, pelvic floor, and then inhale and bring the arms up as much as you like. So this is a much narrower Utkatasana. You will feel it's quite different, sensing and feeling in the body. And if you like, look up. All right, inhale, straightening, exhale, arms down. Don't totally let go of your strap. Hold on to one end and stand. Do now take your legs back to wide. All right, and then take the strap behind your back and just hold it comfortably here. So some of you will be able to hold it all the way together or even clasp your hands. Most of you are going to need a little room back there. All right, so step the feet out wide-ish to your comfort. And then with the feet out wide-ish, watch me again because it's the same thing. Be very careful not to do this to bend your knees. That would be common. We would do this to bend and then tuck the tail. That would be common, not here, but it's common. Instead, the ischial tuberosities are just going down. It's the mind of your earth that says, okay, fine, down. All right? So let's do that together. Let your arms, you can bring them back a little bit, so you're already working in the top chest region and having fun up there. And then slide the ischial tuberosities down. Lift the arms up just a little, and now beginning to come forward without hinging the ischial tuberosities up, letting them stay rooted down, even as the coccyx is light behind you. Maybe the legs stay bent, maybe they don't. Down you go, finding your way, pulling on the strap, and forward. Forward you are. It's okay to straighten your legs in these postures, it's fine. But don't just disintegrate the legs and the pelvis. Large intestine marrow. Large intestine marrow, it's just like in the shoulders. The deep, dark, earthy, hot support of organ and marrow. Take one more deep breath here. And then when you finish the breath, bend your knees, find all the support into the earth that you can. Come up slowly, no hinging the hips. Right around, right around, right around, right around, right around, and up and release. And stand easy, enjoying life easy. Let your body breathe. The breath is where we find the inner touch. Inner touch. Touch is the sense of the heart chakra and the air element. It's touch. We create a lot of freedom in the body so that we can find this inner touch. All right, so this is Parshvottanasana, and I am going to use the chair for this. I recommend that you do. So we'll just be taking the hands down, stepping the leg back, spinning the heel, coming into this as the prep. I'll be talking you through it, and then sliding arms out and forward. This part why I like the chair is this. All right? So, chair, blocks, or floor, your best medicine right now. And we'll begin. As you're inhaling, spin the palms open, get a little bit of an upward peak, and feel that inner touch perhaps. As you're exhaling, Anjali Mudra brings the slightest bit of a bow. Pushing into the earth with a big reach upward, ready to go forward, and exhale, up, out, and over, hands to your supports. Go deep down through the right, curl the left in. This could be done with no support too, and step the left back. Yield and push into the earth, and as you're inhaling, extend both legs the best you can. Lift your body up from the pubic disc as if it wanted to go heavenward and had the power to lift your body off the ground. And then exhale forward. Deep breathing. So the arms are just like our downward facing dog, that kind of deep connection, marrow, lung, all of it, right? Full breathing. Lengthened vertebral column. The coccyx reaches away, the base of the skull goes the other way, and the bones like jewels there suspended along the strand, bobbing along their little discs in their long coccyx to occiput. All right, now bend the front knee and slide your hands back to support on the chair. Inhale, come up to neutral, spin the back heel. Push off and step. Wave out. Pour down, we're coming back up. Deep down you go with the pelvic bones, big rising, and Anjali Mudra. The feet are together. Breathing. And we go. Inhale, palms open. Exhale, Anjali. Deep in the earth. Big inhale to reach. And exhale. All the way over you go. Bend your knees a lot. Go deep into the left. Inhale, curl the right and shoot it back. Spin the heel toward the center of your mat. Push deeply through the two legs, straightening them both or not. Inhale, pubic disc lifting, lifting, lifting. Let it be so. And then exhale, slide your arms out again. Deep breathing. Good, and ready to move with an inhale. You spin the back heel off, lift your torso a little, and then ready to step. Push off and step, wave out. And pour down. This time, keep your arms and your head down, maybe even supported on your chair in Uttanasana. Just a few breaths here before we continue. Easy in the body. Let it be easy in the body. And then there is the constancy of this dangling of a jewel-like spine from the coccyx to the occiput, base of the skull, right? Even as we use the density of the peripheral body to support inhaling and coming up. Tadasana again. Good. Let's come down onto the ground and supine. So you'll be lying down on your back, have a strap and a block. You might not need the block as I look at the time, but you might. Same thing, vertebral column. Really make it long here. It's an opportunity to do so. Sacrum, drawing. Oops, take your strap with you. And then sacrum, drawing. Big muscles of the side back, you want to try to keep them basically in the central line, and then maybe you're a little off in your curves in the upper. So you just want to lengthen the best you can to be as long as possible through the center here as you come simply onto your back with the knees bent. All right, let's take the strap, place it on your right leg on the toe ball, widen the toe ball into your right foot, wrap the strap in your right hand, and take your left hand onto your left side body there. You can put your hand to touch all the way through just about this whole basin of the left side torso. It's nice to do that. Keep it deep. Keep it dropping underneath your hand toward the back like a big fluid, muddy pool. And then as you're ready and you release your left leg out to straight on the floor, don't push that stuff up. Keep that stuff down there and exhale, slide your leg out, left leg line up, out on the floor, but the deep belly pool has not pushed up in any way. Just that. Nice opportunity to play with your foot, extend the heel a little bit, draw your toes toward you. The ball foot pushes into the strap, the heel pulses away. You just play, toes wide. And now let's take the leg out and over to the right, just a bit. Left hand, all there, right on your deep left side body. And then begin to turn your your head to face left. Now bring your hand to your heart region, right in the center of the chest. And then turn that also, spinning around the heart central limb to open to the left. And then release your arm out, flat on the floor, leftward. Go as far as you want. I'd like you to have turned from the heart limb right in the center of the chest to open through the neck and your brain to look leftward. With an inhale, roll them back as you draw the leg up. Curl up around your leg. Look down towards your foot on the floor, and as you're exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, just take your time and slowly lower that leg down, keeping, once again, how do I keep those organs deep in my body and fully connected to the earth, water, fire of me, and down you melt. One breath, melt. Full melt, one breath. Good. Then both legs come up. Inner legs come together to bring the legs up. Take your left foot up, strap it, and hold the strap in your left hand. Right hand, deep belly tissues. Should be really soft in there, really soft. Your right hand is right along the depth of the colon there, and all of the fascial tissues underneath and around it. So here we go. Keep it deep. Inhale. With an exhale, slide the right leg out. You feel the muscles work, but don't push anything up. Let the belly tissues give you your gravity into the earth there. And here we go. Now this time, as you bring your leg out to the left, rotate now from the center. Start from the heart. It's micro movement. Rotate, and as soon as the heart starts to spin, even the mind of heart spinning, the gaze will go over to the side as well. Leg releasing. Leftward, gaze, heart, neck, brain, limb, going rightward, deep belly, no tension in the abdomen, just a lot of rich life force in there. Inner touch, inner breath. So again, to come up, it's not that you're making that central limb of your heart, neck, and head heavy, not at all. You're just rotating them back towards center as the leg comes up, coming home to one another. Let go of the strap, reach through, and lower. Everything's still, I know your muscles are working, that's fair, but underneath them, the sea waters are calm. And melt. And then however you would like to set up for Shavasana, you'll do so now. So if you have some props around you like to use, feel free to do. Otherwise, just lengthen your spine again. Maybe you put something under your head. Most people are better off with one layer of blanket under their head, almost everybody. And then slide one leg out, let it go. The other leg out, let it go. As you allow your eyes to close, follow one of your breaths all the way through to its exhaling pause and melt your body in the finish of the breath and in the pause, the diffusion. And then do it again. Learn to feel that deep, deep rest that is offered there in a long, slow, and easy exhalation.